Hi everyone, I hope wherever you are enjoying fruits of the day, which is likewise to me. And kindly I recall you to like, share and subscribe my channel. Last time we saw definition of paint and ingredients used on production of paints. It will be my pleasure today to take you through classification of paint and see the quality of paint. Let me start by classification of paint. I urge you to master that it is very difficult to classify or group the wide variety of paints available for decorative use. But it doesn't mean we cannot classify them. Still, we can classify them, one, by solvents used. When we are talking about solvent used, that's where we will get water-based paints. These coatings are thinned with water, dry rapidly, relatively cheap, better smell, thicker and heavier when you compare them with oil-based paints, and are mainly used on concrete, plaster and asbestos. And again, there on classification of paints under solvents, we can put oil-based paints. Remember, we have discussed about water-based paints. Now it is about oil-based paints. When we come on oil-based paints, those coatings are thinned with various thinners. Mostly you can use white spirit or turpentine, and they dry slowly, rapidly more expensive, stronger smell, generally thin, lighter than water-based paints, and are mainly used on wood, metal, plastics, etc. Because we have classified them under solvent used, we can still classify paints under solvent-less. There is paints which are produced and applied without solvents, and these paints are not made with any solvent. For example, they are used for fridge, electronic cooker, glass use, or metallic bath tubes and thermoline road marking paints. Still, under classification of paints, we can get to classify paints on other classifications regarding things like color. For example, when we talk about color, paint can be classified if it is white, or maybe it can have light colors, it can have dark or deep colors, and on the other side there is paints which are clear, they don't have any color. Still, we can classify them, the paints, regarding finish or texture. For example, there is those paints which are gloss, others they are eggshell, others they are matte, others they are rough, while others smooth, and the others they are textured. Still, on classification of paints, we can classify paints regarding market segment. There is some paints which are decorative, industrial, automotive and marine. So under classifications of paints others, we have seen three types. We can classify with color, with texture or finish, and with market segment. Still, point number 4, we can classify with number of components. For example, single pack or 2K, meaning 2 pack. Still, point number 6, we can classify them regarding end use. For example, there is those paints for road marking, there is other paints for swimming pool, others they are painted on floor, while others on roof. We can classify them in that terms. Still, we can classify paints regarding with resin used. There is those paints which are used during production. We use alkali, others we can use epoxy, and others chlorinated rubber, while others we can use PVA. Still, we can classify paints regarding with resin used. Again, we can classify paints using method of application. As we know, there is some paints which are applied using brush, others roller, while others spray and dipping. Still, we can classify paints regarding methods of drying. There is paints which dry by air, others stoving, others catalyzed, while others it is UV curved. Still, we can classify paints regarding with use in the system, like primer, sealer, undercoat and top coat. So it is very difficult to say which of those classification is best, since each one is more useful in other situation or another. For example, we cannot say maybe white color is more useful than clear color. Remember, there is white colors used on painting interior house, and there is others which are clear used on painting wood. Both they are important. So after knowing specification or classifications of paint, now we can like to know how to get good quality paint. Now we come on paint quality. You can ask yourself, what makes good quality paint? Painting is an investment in product, time and labor. So it is important to choose high quality paint with a long lasting finish. If you take the time to select high quality paint when you begin, you will reap the benefits for many years to come. All paint companies make different grades of paints to meet different applications and performance requirements. So note that every company makes different paints, but high quality paint provides complete coverage with few costs on any service. Having high visibility, they can withstand more wear and tear, scrubbing and washing than lower quality paints, saving you time in labor and money in product. So other paints grades with names like professional, outdoor and general purpose grade with work but won't do as good a job as true premium quality paint. So whoever thinking about painting, try to think about true premium quality paint that will save your money, labor charges, and it will not wear and tear very easily. High quality paints are made with more and better ingredients than lower quality paints, making them easier to apply. They look better and last longer. Quality paint contains both the best pigments and binders, but in addition, they contain more of those solid than lower quality. And it is the solids that remain behind after the paint has dried. But economy paints provide hiding by using less pigments than extending it with fillers that may have good hiding capability initially, but lose their hiding capability and color over time, particularly when exposed to weather. Yeah, note that please. When you are producing paint or using paint, don't choose the one with less pigments because they will cost you in future. Almost all high quality paints offer one or more unique features such as extended disability with low or zero FOCS or FOX, washability, ultra smooth finish, one coat hide, superior touch, match resistance, and low odor. Up to there, hope you are catching up with me. You know that when you use paints which has lesser pigments, then it will give you bad outcome. So let's try to use paints which are premier trade, which have high quality. With that, I want to continue with knowing the quality of paints, because some people has myths. They have myths about ability of paints. For example, one myth about paints, people say that oil-based paints are better than water-based paints because they are more washable. How do you think? Is it true that oil-based paints are better than water-based paint? The answer is not necessarily. Why we are saying that? Today is a time of change in the paint industry, with the environmental issues coming to the fore. Paint manufacturers are busy formulating new products that cut down on VOCs in full volatile organic compounds, which may have adverse health effects. Yeah, so those people who are saying that water-based paints, they are not good compared with oil-based, it may be not necessarily that way, because every paint company, it is trying to see how to best the formulations, including me. On my side, I do try on daily basis to see good formulation which can be good for health, which cannot have much smell, which can be more washable, and which can bring nice outcome. So don't think that, or don't put in your mind that it is all oil-based better than water-based. We know have water-based products that can match and even outperform the traditional durability oil-based coatings. Besides obvious advantages of water-based paints like low VOCs, easy cleanup with water, quick drying, alkyl raising, stable non-yellowing color over time. Some products which were previously not very washable can now be formulated to be washable. For example, think about vinyl matte emulsion. It is emulsion here, meaning it is water-based paint, but can be better, or it is better than more of oil-based paints. When you find it, sometimes it is recommendable for maybe when you apply on metal and when you apply on interior designer. Oil-based paints have advantages of an attractive high washable gloss, and still they are easy to brush because they make brush strokes feel themselves to create a smooth finish. Again, they are hard, they are durable paints, oil-based, we agree on that. But when you are choosing about paint, on other side, you can think about water-based paints, but which are made with high-quality pigments. Don't even rush on oil-based paints without comparison. When you compare water-based paints like matte, vinyl, silk, it's better than maybe premium gloss paint. So today, knowing the quality of paints, don't be a victim under this myth whereby people say oil-based paints are better than water-based paints. Now, let's go for the second myth. Second myth is that they say thick paints, it is necessary better than a thin one. What do you think? Thick paint, is it necessary better than thin paint? Compare thin and thick. What do you see? Which one is necessary better? Answer is no. It is not true that thick paint it's better than thin paint. For example, take this good example I'll give you. A fat guy, do you think is necessarily heavier than a thin one? Answer is no. You can't compare fat guy with thin guy. Thin guy is better, is heavier than fat guy. Now, paint may be made thick by adding thickener with no addition or resin or pigment. Furthermore, when you dilute thick paint, you gain or covering a large area, but you lose on opacity because you will need to care about costs, but you are not caring about how it will bring outcome, opacity, after you apply the paint. And again, it can lose durability because you now have less resin per liter to provide protection. Now we know it is not true that thick paint is better than thin paint. Let's go to the theme or myth number 3. We have talked about 2 myths so far. Myth number 3 is that an expensive paint necessarily better than a cheaper one. What do you think? Is it true that expensive paint is better than cheaper one? On that now I will agree. Yes, it is true. You can't compare expensive paint with cheaper one. If you are comparing paint from a single manufacturer, for example me, of course, price and name are usually good indicators. Manufacturers need to change more for their premium quality paint since it contains more costly ingredients. Price is a good indicator of quality since a manufacturer isn't good to exchange more for lesser quality paint. Since their name is on the product, then it is hard to give you a bad product. So be careful when comparing products from different companies, as some companies will charge more for the same quality as others simply because they are known to be market leaders. What do you mean on that? There is some companies, they will charge you paint more comparing with other companies simply because they are known to be market leaders. They lead on market. So let's not lie on ourselves. We go to buy paints regarding company because it has big name. You just rush and say, I want this paint from this company. It can be charged more, but the quality compared with the small company, they are the same. So be careful when you are buying paints, or when you are producing paints, be careful. Don't charge customers more price on a grade or paint grade which it is lesser price. Not good at all. Now, this brings us on the 4th myth. After discussing 3 myths, let's see the 4th myth. Is there any benefits of using good quality paints? What do you think? Now we are not talking about using paint from big company or small company. It is using paint from quality paint, good quality paint. Is there any advantage? Answer, it is definitely yes. There is advantage. Premier quality paints saves you time and money, or good quality paints, they save you time and money. If you only need to paint your house once every 5 years instead of every second year, you can see what paying even twice as much for quality paint in the long run will be less expensive in terms of labor, cost, money, and on the other side, you can think of effort. When you apply good quality paint, you will save money, you will save labor duration, you will save cost of time, and again you'll save effort. Paint prices go up every year. Labor charges also increase. Using a good quality paint may also mean less cost and less labor costs. If labor is charged per coat, and also reduce hassles of having to move furniture or vacating your home for some days every 2 years instead of once every year. If you use good quality paint, then you will not have to vacate every after 2 years. You can vacate your house after maybe 5 years. You see, you are saving there. Now, after seeing the classification of paints and after seeing the quality of paints, I can like you to know that the next video will go through production of paint. What do I mean by production of paint? Yeah, I mean that we will produce a paint practically. I will show you some chemicals and we will produce it, but it will be of lesser pigments to see how the outcome will be. So my fellow friends, stay tuned on the other video to see production of paints. Now it will not be artificial suit. Up to the other video, I urge you to like, share and subscribe. Bye guys.